October 1st garden tour. What's left? Lunch, actually. We're going to start out here in the container garden. So first off, the mystery plant is a pumpkin. Look at that. We're cleaning up over here, so put it up over this chair to grow. We have one on there, and it's late in the season. I don't know what will come of it, but we found a seedling in the garden growing when we're cleaning up, so I put it in a pot and eventually planted it right outside the container garden. So here's our raspberries. We got them as little sticks in a little pot. It was a gift, and it's grown up to here. Now this is the first year since they are little seedlings, or maybe somebody propagated them, I'm not sure. All I know is I already had them potted up when they were given to me, and this is how they've grown throughout the summer. In this pot here, it was originally carrots. There is a couple still in there. Wanted to see at the end of the season how those grew. This is a Cherokee purple tomato plant. It was one of the extras I had before I went out on vacation in July. I threw it in this pot, and it has some tomatoes. It didn't get a ton, but it got a few, and they're not ripening yet, which is like the theme of my tomatoes this year. They don't like to ripen on the vine. I did find a Brandywine pink the other day. So this plant in the big pot, which I already started switching over to, is another Cherokee purple. This one has tons of tomatoes, not green. What has been happening all summer is they would start to get ripe, and then they would get blossom and rot. So I had been lately just taking a few off here and there and letting them ripe up inside. Here is the mystery pepper. I wasn't sure what kind of pepper it is, so we'll see if it ripens up, what color it turns. But this was one I didn't have labeled, and when I was finishing up putting the peppers in the ground, I threw this one in the pot. This is my tiny herb garden. I picked up the herbs at a garden center. The marigolds I grew, I put them in this pot, and that's what's left of it. The sage, oh no, this is the lavender. It's a different type of lavender. This was the sage, I think. Well, I'm not sure, because this was a different type. 2 different lavenders and 1 sage. So this one says it's sage, so it must be this one. I don't know. I'm gonna look that up. Anyway, this is what's left. I'm going to see if I can overwinter this and save what's in the pot. The herbs in the pot. Okay, so down here was where I had 2 chocolate cherry tomato plants, and they did okay for a while. I got a bunch of tomatoes off of it, not a ton. At one point, I had a couple of branches broken off down the bottom. I threw them in these pots, and not much, but I did get some tomatoes off of this as well. And I didn't do anything special. I literally just threw it in the dirt. Oh, here's the second. Yep, that's the second one. And then these in here, as far as the yellow pears, I've been picking them all summer long. Well, that's the container garden. So here's Morning Glory. This is the one all the way from this corner pot. It's down there. And I've been growing Morning Glory. I started them from seed. I haven't gotten any flowers, but I'm looking now, and I'm hoping they make it. Oh, you can't see. Hold on. That's a tiny spot. And I don't know if you can see. If I zoom in, it looks like I'm starting to get buds for flowers. So it took a long time, but I might be getting morning glories that I actually planted. So I had them in pots, maybe not the best idea. However, I found a lot of information on them saying how invasive they were. It's so hard to get rid of them, blah, blah, blah. So I didn't put them in the ground. And in reality, I don't think I would have a problem with them. Seeing that they were in pots, they probably didn't get enough. Here's another morning glory from this pot here. I love how it's growing up the witch. Let's see, get a better shot of that. So I have them in pots, like I said, because they said they were going to be invasive. But since it was so hot, I probably maybe didn't keep the pots as moist. Maybe that's why it took them a while to grow. But this one is actually, oh, it has tons of little buds. Awesome. Awesome. Aw. Finally. Maybe they do take this long. Maybe I should have started them earlier. Who knows? But I'm happy. Ah, finally some buds. So happy. A little pot of, this is the pineapple mint, still holding on. Again, pots dry out so fast. They're a good idea in some aspects if you can be out here often enough on hot days to make sure that they're moist. But in my own experience, I just don't get out here enough to keep little pots like that watered on hot days. So this was huge before. It went down to almost nothing, and then they're growing back. So my other mint, this is the chocolate mint. So pretty. Okay, so these three, almost the end of their lives here, are my black Krim. Two along the fence are supposed to be chocolate cherry, but they definitely just look like more yellow pear. Now, I know I didn't mess up when I was planting them and labeling them, so I mean, I could have, but I don't think so. Not all of these. Like these and the ones in the pot were supposed to be chocolate cherry, and they all just look like the yellow pear. Okay, these Virginia Sweet, I got nothing from them. They started off okay, and then did not do well. Oh, and look at this, how funny. It's October 1st, and this plant has flowers. And it's done nothing all year. It's gone down to almost like nothing. That's funny. That's how warm it's been in September and October. These are my Cherokee Purple. 8 there. I got some tomatoes still on the vine. Probably gonna pull this before it rots. Got more there. More here. I think this one's new. Oh, I didn't see it before. More here. So we have a bunch of tomatoes there. Now this is my determinate San Marzano that I didn't think was doing well at all and hadn't been doing well. And in September into today's October, it's like growing like crazy. And it's got a bunch of flowers. Oh, and another little one here. So let's, if we continue to have warm weather throughout October, which is possible, maybe I'll get more tomatoes on that. Here's another San Marzano. Just have one there. These are the Valencia. I still got a bunch of babies on here. These, I think, yes, these were the ones I had my very first tomatoes, my very first harvest of tomatoes. And they did actually vine ripen. They're a nice pretty shade of orange. And more there. These here are the Rosso Sicilian. I've taken a lot off of here. These plants are coming to the end. I've already grabbed a ton of tomatoes. They have this cool, pretty shape. They didn't get very huge. Most of them were about this size. I thought they'd get bigger, but they were delicious. and like wicked pretty. And I still haven't gone through and taken off some of these leaves. I need to. So this is my Brandywine Pink. These are the biggest tomatoes. They took a while to show up, but I have huge, beautiful ones. Not rotting, just waiting to be harvested. I came out here the other day, I found a red one on here, all ripened on the vine. It was kind of hidden, but there's a bunch of big ones here. But at this point, I'm gonna go through, get rid of all the leaves we don't need, get a good chance of these tomatoes ripening out here. Or I'm gonna keep an eye on the forecast. It got down to 40 last night. I might be pulling some, maybe pull some off to ripen inside, and then I'll keep a couple out here. Back there's the remnants of my best yellow pear tomato. All those brown lines. Here is my yellow summer squash. The leaves, just over the past week, I've gotten tons of mildew. I came out here the other day and grabbed a couple of squash. They didn't really get very big. This plant did not do as well as my green summer squash, which is the zucchini. Oh, another volunteer, I think purple morning glory that I did not plant. All right, my big beautiful zucchini plant. I just came out the other day, got a humongous zucchini off it, and I'm gonna make zucchini bread. I have one more in there growing. I had put a few seeds down in here, but they got trampled by something. There was zucchini in here. My father came out and harvested it, accidentally pulled it out of the ground. So, didn't get much from those last three I threw in this crazy little patch. I did just yesterday, was it yesterday? And Monday, 2 days ago, came out and harvested a bunch more of my purple green beans that were in this patch. Those just keep on going. I mean, I come out, I grab some, ignore them for a week or so, come out, find more. Okay, so my little cucumbers, no. My little melons didn't do much. These ones I didn't sow from seeds. I bought them at a clearance sale at a greenhouse. They were already grown in the pots and well over the time they should have gone into the ground. But I figured I'd give it a shot, and that's all that happened. My eggplants, they got so big. At first I didn't think they were going to make it, because when I first put them in the ground, the leaves were getting eaten up by something. But new leaves kept coming and flowers came, and look, more flowers. More flowers. I'm telling you, been a warm September. I have an eggplant there and one more down here. I've already harvested 3 off these 2 plants, combined 3, and I made eggplant parmesan the other day. It was awesome. Here's the mustard going to seed. And when these pods are all brown, like these pods, if they didn't already pop open, which some of them did, there's all seeds inside. My one corn didn't make it. This is all it is, as a matter of fact. I kind of want to pull it off and see what the inside even looks like. It's probably just all mush. With just one, I came out here and tried to pollinate it myself, but that's the end of that. Okay, my kale growing strong. You can just keep harvesting off this. I keep harvesting and coming back, and there's more and more. Okay, so these flowers are now going everywhere. They're now into my peppers. So, in a bunch of videos, I claim that what's growing over here are what I thought were my pole green beans. Well, they were not pole green beans. They were these purple flowers. I have footage of when I first came out here and noticed them all one morning, like, what in the world is going on? I'm not mad about it, but all of these are these purple flowers. They are not beans. They took over this patch completely. This is all new. Now this must all be seeds. Well, that'll be something fun to come out and harvest. But they are gorgeous. Oh my goodness, I just noticed something. Those purple flowers are morning glories, and I know why. I know they are because this was one of my pots of morning glory that I was just showing you in the earlier video, and look. Oh, it finally grew. Oh, this is what I think is my first morning glory. Wait, let me make sure this is coming out of this plant. All right, I didn't want to look stupid again. I wanted to make sure it was actually coming out of this pot and not some of the other ones growing, because there's some right here. That's the other ones growing. That's the other purple ones. This one is coming out of this pot. Finally. And it's so pretty. Don't look over there, look at me. So pretty. Oh, thank you for growing for me. And now I know all the rest are gonna do the same thing. Here's more. All right, I had to wait a long time, but that's okay. It's gorgeous. Okay, back to there. I feel like I'm in a jungle. This is a good view of the garden. I never take this view. It's amazing to see how much has grown. And now, back to this. Beautiful kale. Swiss chard. It's actually growing more now than it has all summer. It must like the cold. I actually have harvested some of these, and I've been eating it with my breakfast, with my eggs. Actually made a video, if you're interested. I'll pop it in the description. Here's the broccoli. I never pulled them when I got my first head because, as you can see, more little florets keep popping up, and I either snack on them or bring them home to eat. So there's that one. Here's another one. This one's kind of leaning over. It was standing up. Oh, getting to the end here. My first marigold I put in the ground this year. Look at it. Insane. Now I gotta get down in there and get all of those seed pods so we can do this again next year. Those are the Brussels sprouts that didn't make it. There's one back there that I think will have some maybe eventually. I see tiny little buds on there, but I've seen that before and they still look the same. Peppers. So many peppers. So many new flowers. So in this row, which is supposed to be a red pepper, I got a yellow pepper. Yeah, that's coming from here. And I did have one red pepper here. So that's good to go. I have tons of green peppers. Tons. So I'm gonna harvest all the big ones, because even though they don't turn, I don't want them to die out here. I'll rather them try to ripen up inside and use it for something else. Okay. That Brussels sprout I was telling you about. And you see how in between, you can see those little balls. That's supposed to be Brussels sprouts. We'll see if in fall, some of the ones down the bottom will grow. some smaller ones that didn't get big. So looking closely, all these smaller ones also have those little nubbies between the leaves. So we'll see what the future brings. My cucumbers. So I harvested already from these. These are starting to get yellow. I do see some more coming in. I don't know how that's gonna work out on this plant here. Just when you thought they were done, more come. These are the Boston pickling cucumbers. And there were a couple that were on here that just got too big. My bad, I didn't see them. Sometimes they hide. Like, look at this one. Oh, this one actually looks perfect. I'm gonna take it. But I have a bunch of babies on this one going. I have this little guy. But the idea worked. Put the fence up, put these metal pieces on to go over, and if I had more cucumbers, there'd be more leaves, and I think it would have been covered more and maybe gotten some shade to those little cucumbers to grow. But that's okay. Happy with what I got. Always want more, but... And here's more of those morning glories. Oh, here's one. Oh no, wait, that could be the other ones. And so, I didn't miss this earlier, but there's another one of my blue morning glories. And that came out of this pot that's holding on for dear life. So I have got to do something about that before it breaks. Alright, fix that pot so it's all set. I just wanted to show you this pepper. I forget what it's called. It's called Chocolate Beauty, and it looks like it is actually, come on leaves, cooperate. It looks like it's trying to ripen right on the vine. It's giving it a little brownish look. I don't know if you can see it. There we go. That's better. Alright, so these are small. See, compared to the others. They got some peppers on there. I have so many peppers here. Okay. So for a while, I didn't think I was going to get a lot of peppers. But it's looking like I am. So these are interesting. So here's my Purple Beauty. Now these grow purple. That was news to me. That was growing right out of the... Oh, that's strange. It's not hanging. It's growing right out of the corner. That's cool. So it's upside down is what you're seeing. So they've been growing from small to big. Purple right off the bat. But these, or maybe they do grow like this and I just haven't noticed it because it's the same color. But they look yellow with a little purple. That looks yellow with like shades of purple on it. So I don't know. Are they growing differently? Because every other one was... Let me show you the other side. So these, as they were small, they just grew purple. But again, maybe I missed it. Here's another purple one. So pretty. I actually chopped one up and put it in the sauce when I made my eggplant parmesan. I didn't make the sauce with all my tomatoes, obviously. I didn't have enough all at the same time. But I did incorporate whatever tomatoes I had on the counter from that day, from harvesting. Chopped those up. Put some peppers in there. Used regular tomato sauce and I just dolled it up with onions and garlic and yummy seasonings. That brings us to the end of the garden tour. As you can see, we still have plenty growing as we enter October, which is fantastic. Thank you for joining me on this journey. While I leave you here, I still have much to accomplish today. I need to do some harvesting and prune my Brandywine pink tomato plants to ensure those tomatoes have the best chance to ripen on the vine. Be sure to tune in for the next video where I'll share that process with you. See you then. Peace.